Good evening. We would like to start our bulletin by reading out the statement made by Foreign Ministry spokesman Ambassador Inal Batu in response to a question posed to him during his weekly press meeting. Certain remarks made by the Greek government spokesman on Turkish-Greek relations and Cyprus on November the 1st contain misleading elements and display an arbitrary approach with regard to the aim and scope of the process of dialogue of the past 10 months between us and Greece. Because of the importance we attach to the development of Turco-Greek relations and the continuation of the process of dialogue on a sound basis, we wish to clearly state our views on this matter. Contrary to what has been stated by the Greek government spokesman Kostopoulos, there are, besides the continental shelf issue, other important questions between Turkey and Greece, such as airspace, the demilitarization of Eastern Aegean Islands, and the plight of the Turkish minority in Western Thrace. It is evident that there is an organic link among the questions pertaining to the Aegean. These questions, which were the subject of negotiations between the two countries up to 1981, when Mr. Papandreou came to power, cannot now disappear by the denial of their existence. During the political committee meetings held in Athens and Ankara this year, the Turkish side, while pointing out to the existence of all these issues, has not insisted on their immediate discussion and has concentrated its efforts on security and confidence-building measures in the belief that this would prepare the necessary ground conducive to their settlement. Since important distance has been covered in this regard in the political committee meetings, what should now be done is to define the problem areas, close the gap between the positions of the parties, and to arrive at a solution. It is necessary for this purpose to draw up, first of all, an inventory of these questions and to define them, and later on to negotiate these questions according to priorities to be agreed between the two sides. It should also be stressed here that Mr. Kostopoulos has attempted to reduce the continental shelf question to a delimitation between the Greek islands in Eastern Aegean and the Turkish coast. Such an attitude is a clear indication of the Greek intention to take over the international airspace and the high seas west of the Greek islands in Eastern Aegean. Turkey cannot, either today or tomorrow, accept such a situation. Turkey will continue to defend its legitimate rights and interests in the high seas and the airspace beyond the territorial waters that exist in the Aegean today. We wish the process of dialogue with Greece to continue. This is the only means to achieve equitable and balanced solutions to the issues between us. Dialogue and negotiations have always been the basic elements of our policy in our approach to Greece. However, setting preconditions for the dialogue process and expecting to gain unilateral advantages through it can only damage this process. It is also very clear that the process of dialogue can only be pursued together by the two sides, and that the willingness of one side alone will not be enough to preserve the vitality of this process. With regard to the Cyprus question, our wish is that this kind of interference in the issues which are subject to direct negotiations between the two sides on the island should be avoided. It has already been agreed within the framework of the UN Secretary-General's mission of goodwill that all aspects of the Cyprus question constitute an integrated whole, and that a comprehensive solution to this problem can only be reached through this approach. Consequently, we believe there is no use in attempting to make artificial distinctions among the various elements of the question. How matters relating to the constitutional aspect of the question will be resolved in the context of a bizonal federation is solely up to the decision of the two peoples on the island. The religious parties in Israel have assumed a key position in the formation of a new government following yesterday's general elections, in which no one party succeeded in obtaining the majority. The ruling right-wing Likud bloc and its rival left-of-center Labour Party have announced that they have no intention of continuing the coalition agreement. The Palestine Liberation Organization declared that possibility of a coalition between the Likud bloc and the religious parties would deal a heavy blow to the peace initiatives in the Middle East. The Palestine news agency in a commentary reported that the formation of such a government